live on YouTube. Thank you very, very much for joining me. Welcome to, once again, the most boring opening screen in the history of YouTube streaming. But hopefully it'll look a little bit more colourful. Let me just see if I can get my chat started correctly this week. Audible, thank you very much for being here. Hello and welcome, sir. Hiya, buddy. Okay, so it's working this week. Okay, so I'm not going to be sat here thinking, I wonder if anyone's actually here and listening to me, because last week it just looked like no one had joined me, and I thought, well, I'll do a stream anyway, you know, maybe someone will watch it later. But there were people in the chat. Just my old iPad just needed the chat refreshing. So thank you for being here. Last week I did, oh, hi Joe, hi Mark. Last week I did AUM for Noobs, and I thought it was pretty scrappy myself. I wasn't that impressed with the job I did, but I have had some really nice feedback, and so I thought what I'd do is continue on that theme this week and take it a stage further. So last week was just a very rough kind of showing people round AUM, kind of trying to give people who've maybe bought the app but not got very far with it, being a bit confused by it, or people who are perhaps wondering whether it's something that they should buy, just to kind of give people an idea of what's on offer. Oh dear, Mark says the sound has gone. Has the sound gone? Audible, Joe, if you can hear me, can you let me know? Is it a problem at Mark's end, or is there something wrong with my stream? Ed says he hears me fine. Okay, Mark, maybe refresh. Oh, you're not going to hear me. Here's me giving advice, and you're not going to hear me if you've lost your sound. Okay, right. So I shall press on. Right. So the idea this week is I'm going to kind of make a simple track showing you what the basics of what you might need to do if you wanted to use AUM as a digital audio workstation. And for those of you who might be wondering, why would you possibly want to do that when you can just buy a traditional style DAW for iOS? The reason is AUM is considerably more stable than any of the digital audio workstations you can currently buy for iOS. And so lots and lots of people have invested a lot of time in trying to use it as a substitute for a DAW. So there are many things you can do with AUM, and this is just one of them. So what I'm going to do is because I did have like a template already set up, and I thought, no, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to scrap that, and I'm going to do it all from scratch so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to try and make a very quick, rough and ready track and talk you through what I'm doing. So, hi Ryan, thank you for being here. Right then, so first of all, we're going to need something to record some MIDI. So what I'm going to do is press plus over here, press on MIDI, and this plus up here, I go to audio unit, MIDI processor, and I'm going to use Helium like I did last week. And like I said last week, Atom 2 is equally as good. It has some stronger points than Helium, and Helium, you know, in its own way, it has some stronger points than Atom 2. For me, it's a faster workflow, but the reason I'm using this one again this week instead of changing it is because last week I had a few people asking me some questions about Helium, so I'm going to address them this week. And I'm going to go to my burger icon next to Helium, and I'm going to press on MPK Mini here, so that we can get MIDI information from my little keyboard that you can't see into Helium. Now, I did have the camera panned further out because I'm going to be hopefully playing some guitar in this track, and I thought it might be nice if you could see me on screen playing the guitar, or maybe playing a bit of the keyboard. But I decided that this stream really is all about AUM, and I think you guys need to be seeing what is on the screen. If my screen is too dark or too bright, let me know, because it doesn't always look the same on my phone that I'm streaming from here as it does on YouTube. So let me know if there's any problem at all. Right, so now I have got my MPK Mini attached to Helium. We need an instrument now. I'm going to start with drums because that seems to make sense. So we'll go to, press plus again, go to audio, and I'm going to add 4 pockets as Digisticks 2. And because there's going to be a bit of a 4 pockets theme to this. Our friend Colin, who's sometimes in my streams and is invariably in Doug Woods' streams, put it to me that, you know, you could do this whole using AUM as a substitute digital audio workstation. Or was it Stephen now? Come to think of it, I'm not sure now. But anyway, somebody suggested that you could do this whole using AUM as a substitute DAW using just 4 pocket stuff. So I'm gonna do a bit of that this evening. So Digisticks 2 is going to need to receive MIDI information from Helium. So I'm going to click on the burger icon there and tell it to listen to Helium port 1. And then I'll come down here and switch off all the MIDI channels by pressing none, and then just reactivate channel 1. So drums are going to be recorded in the first piano roll inside of Helium here on track 1. So, oh yes, I need to select a kit. So back into Digisticks 2, and I'm going to select General MIDI. So in Digisticks 2, you've got banks of drum kits. And if you go to bank, there's the default kits, there's general MIDI kits, because the standard kits that come with Digisticks 2 are not general MIDI. So we if we select, I'm sorry, I'm just reading Audible's comment. Don't forget to take a sip of tea, man, or hydrate. yeah, you know, when I did do a full day in here recording a video that I just really, it was when I was doing a video for Lunar Lander, and I really wanted to get it done for the developer, like, and get it out that day. And so I spent an entire day in my studio here, which has no ventilation at all, no windows whatsoever, and it was a boiling hot day. And I got the video done and I was quite happy with it, but I ended up being quite ill for a couple of days. Hi Russ, thanks for being here. Hi Johan. So my point was that in Digisticks 2, Paul has given us some general MIDI kits. So I'm going to select that, and that now means that I can trigger these drums with the predictable order of keys on my MPK Mini. So those drum samples are here, and that is not the kit I wanted because I forgot to go here and change Cool Beans kit for Rock kit. That's what I want. Okay, so now I can play these on screen here. Let me just make sure they're not too loud going on. This does tend to be quite a loud app. I'm just going to drop the master volume here a little. Or I can play those drums with my MPK Mini, which you can't see me doing. Right, so now I go to Helium and I have no idea what I'm going to record today. So we'll keep the tempo at 120 for now, because I don't even know what I'm doing. So we're going to go down here. I want a pre-roll for the metronome so that I can come in on bar 1. So if I press pre-roll, it's going to give me a count before bar 1 here. If you didn't see last week, you'll see what I mean in a moment. And I need to switch metronome on, and let's just see what comes out here. I forgot a stage. Stupid old hippie. I forgot to sync Helium to the transport in AUM. I also forgot to press record. 2 grievous hippie errors. Okay, let's try that again. I'm going to set up, now that I've got some drums in there, I can lose the metronome, and I'm going to set up, hi Paul, thanks for joining us. I'm going to set up a loop. To set up a loop, I simply put my finger in the area where the bars are written out. I can't think of a better word for it. And we just drag across however many bars we want to loop around. Then I activate loop and press play. Okay, as you can hear, we've got a couple of notes at a time there, so let's just zoom in on those, and rather than quantize them, I'm just going to drag. No, I'm not. I've made them bigger. Hang on, let's undo that. Right, let's try that again. Come on, you know you want to. Oh, I know why it won't move. Because I've got the grid set to quarter notes. There we go. Stupid hippie. And now I'm not sure where it should be. Let's have a look. Does it match up? I've put it in the wrong place, look. Well, this is going well, hippie. Oh, right. It's that one that's wrong. Okay. Move that one over to here. No, I didn't want to move for me. You know what? There are times when I think it would be quicker if I just did it again. I don't know why it's not moving for me. Oh, hi Doug. Thanks for being here. Hi, Benjamin. Pleasure to have you here with us, sir. There we go. That's there. And where should this kick be? It should just be there, where it was originally. Stupid hippie. There. Okay, let's just play that and make sure that's all right. Right, now I'm just going to lay some hi-hat over the top of that. There's 3 hats here in this kit. There's a nice polite one. There's an open one that's kind of a bit long and washy. And then there's a messy one in the middle. I'm just going to use the messy one, I think. I'm just going to go for a straight messy hat. I need the pre-count. Let's put that back on. Okay, nothing fancy, just a nice straightforward rock groove, and I'm going to leave that like that for now, and I'm going to move on to the next bit. So I want to put an instrument down over that, and I think I'm going to go with guitar next, because I'm getting an idea. So this is how I'm going to get my guitar into AUM. I go to audio, I go to plus, hardware input. Now, let me show you this before I do that. Right, so over here you'll see in this circle here it says USB right. That's because I've got an iRig Pro Duo with 2 inputs. My microphone that I'm using to speak to you on is in the right hand side input. So over here, if I go to the left hand side, that's where my guitar is, and of course it's buzzing because I've got a lead plugged into it, so I'll just mute that for a moment. And I want to record into multi-track, but I'm also going to need a tuner, and there's kind of a distinct lack of tuners. There are obviously those Guitar Rig style of apps all have a tuner in them, which is great. But if you don't need to open a full app like that, if you're just using, say, an Ambrini amp, you know, it'd be nice to have just a little plugin that is just a tuner. And I believe that Aurora DSP said that they were bringing one out, so I'm looking forward to that. So I'm going to Audio Unit Extensions here, and I'm going to open another 4Pockets app. So we're going to have New Rack, and when I go into New Rack, if I go up here to the burger icon, I can load Tuner, which I've personalized. Now, this tuner actually was added by Paul about 2 days after I suggested it to him. Because when I first had to go with New Rack, I thought, you know what, this app would be great if it had a guitar tuner in it. Suggested it. A couple of days later, there's an update in the App Store, and there it is, guitar tuner, or whatever tuner. I did do the same thing with Mixbox, with Arcade Multimedia, but that doesn't have a tuner as yet, which is a shame. Right, so I'm going to grab a guitar, and we'll have a tune. Let me just mute my microphone here while I just make a little noise grabbing my guitar. I just put my headphones down on the MPK Mini, didn't I? And made a noise. Sorry about that. I hope it wasn't too loud. Right then, guitar. Let's just make sure we're nicely in tune. Plug it in. Plug it in. Good call. Okay, you're just hearing that through my microphone, so let's just unmute. Right, so now what I'm going to do is I want to record this guitar, so double tap here under New Rack, and I'm going to add multi-track. So if anyone didn't see last week, a multi-track is like a mini DAW that you can plug in inside of other apps. Open that up. Now my guitar has gone away. You can hear it through the microphone, but it's not coming down this channel until I press monitor. There we go. And then I drag this out so you can see where we actually record the audio down here at the bottom. And to record something in, I need to arm this, but maybe let's get a little idea of what I'm going to play first. We want this to be mono. Right. Okay, and while I'm playing, I'd like my guitar, you know, to sound, I'd like to have some dirt on it. Now, if I wanted to record the guitar with the effect on, I would put the effect up here above multi-track, because whatever goes into multi-track is going to get recorded. But I don't want to do that. I want to record clean guitar so that I can change my mind about what sound I want later on. So I'm just going to add down here something that will give me a bit of a dirty sound, because I'm feeling like a sort of a bit of rock riffing coming on. So let's go with spoiled for choice now with the Ambrini amps. Let's go with this one. Immediately a bit super loud. So let's just get one of Jamie's presets. Right. We're a little loud, so let's just... Yeah, I'll play the drums, get myself a little level. just noticing that my iRig stream is peaking a little. I'm just going to adjust the volume. I don't want to upset anyone with levels here. Okay. I think maybe something a bit dirtier than that, actually. Maybe we should go with something. Maybe Jamie's big balls. Or let's just try Van Halen-ish sound. Okay, we'll go with that for now. It'll do us for now. Hang on a minute. What am I going to play here? Let's just... Oh, yeah, let's try that. Something like that. It only needs to be rough because I'm only demonstrating. I'm not trying to create the world's greatest ever track. So what I need to do to set this up is ARM record here. Oh, it's giving me a sample rate warning. Change the sample rate. Okay. Now wait a minute. Last time I did this, we had a little accident, so let's just right, I'm just going to save this project, AUM 2 we'll call it. Right, okay, so if you want to change your sample rate, we do that by hitting this little wheel here, and then we change it here. Right, now has that screwed everything up? It seems to have screwed everything up. Maybe not everything, let's see. Right, I could tell because there was no sound coming down this channel. I could tell that something in this channel was upset. Something was stopping the sound coming through. Multitrack seems to be okay, and the amp seems to be okay. So maybe we lost this. So if I just, I wonder if I reload just the tuner. Yeah, that seems to have done the trick. Okay. Right. Okay. Let's just play. Let's play some averagely okay dirty heavy rock guitar. With a count in. Oh yes, right, so I'll show you this. I think I showed you this last week, but I'll just remind you. If I want to have like a pre-roll count so that I can come in on the 1, then I press on the 3 little dots under the metronome. The metronome does need to be armed. I've got a pre-roll count of 1 bar, But if I select pre-roll only, then it will just give me the metronome count to bring me in on time, and then it will shut up. Right, that'll do us for now, just for a demonstration. So now what I should have done actually is left this open. Actually what I should have done is I should have pressed record. Sorry about that. Okay, just to backtrack a little then, is when you want to record something in multitrack, you have to arm record here, and then whichever of these tracks is armed, it will record onto, right? So at the moment, track 1 is armed. So seeing as how we just had a little crash, I also need to press host sync or else it won't move in time to AUM. All the mistakes tonight. Okay, so I'll leave this open, then we can see if it's working. And it's not working. Let's try that again. Okay, right, so slightly scrappy playing going on there, but as you can see, we have recorded some guitar into multitrack, and I can, if I wish, I can chop this audio up, I can edit it. We have various editing options here. We can split, normalize, reverse, time stretch, all that stuff. I'm not going to be doing much of that this evening. We can move it around within here, right? So we can arrange stuff. But what I'm going to do is I just want to give you a nice kind of quick overview of recording in AUM as a DAW. So I'm just going to crack on and record some other instruments. We can look deeper at a later point. So if I want to record on the next track, I just select the next track with that button there. By the way, earlier when it didn't record, I've absolutely no idea why it didn't record, because I just started it again and then it did it. And like, if I remember rightly, I think it did that last week, and I've not used it since then. So I don't know, first time I recorded it just didn't record any audio, started it again, recorded no problem. Also, as you can see, this, in fact I can zoom here, let's just zoom in. You can see this is mono, which I very much like. In Cubasis, I'm not very keen on the fact that they don't give you much option over, you know, like once you've used a plugin to get guitar sound, you turn it into stereo, and if you freeze a track, you get stereo. If you mix it down, you get stereo. There's no mono option. So I like it that Paul's given us this mono or stereo option. That's actually, yes, be jamming. That's my number one gripe about Cubasis. Actually, is I want to be able to freeze or export in mono, because if I do a session for somebody, I can't actually use Cubasis to do a professional session for somebody recording some guitar or some bass, because they want me to send them mono. You know, that's what they want, and so I can't use it for that. So I have to go and switch on my computer, which I'd rather not do. So, and my other main gripe about Cubasis is I've forgotten. I shall remember. It must be a terrible gripe. I'll remember while I think about what I'm going to play over this. Is that I'm going to move on to bass while I have a think about what kind of a thing I want to play over there. So let's just mute this channel so that I can swap over to a bass. And I'll just mute my microphone in case I make a big loud noise like before. Okay, right, so this is going to give me an opportunity to show you multi-bus out in multi-track, because I think for now I'd like to leave my guitar amp here on this guitar that I've recorded. You see, if I take that out and press play, all I've got is the clean guitar, because we didn't record this effect. So if I use another bus, I can send the bass to it. I could even put an amp on the bass. So if you don't know what I mean by multi-bus out, because I have to bear in mind that some people might not know what I mean. Imagine that, right, this app is, imagine, let me think about this. Right, you can also do this with Digisticks. So let me use this as an example. This might work better. So imagine that Digisticks is an actual little drum machine, right? It's an actual little physical drum machine in a little plastic box that says Roland at the top of it. And it puts out in stereo. So if it's got, let's say if you've got 8 different drums playing inside of that little drum machine, it's putting those drums out in a stereo picture. What we have the option of doing in Digisticks and in multitrack is to send out those instruments on their own bus. So in Digisticks and in multitrack, we can have 8 different buses coming out. So if I do it, that might just make it a bit more clear to anybody who doesn't know what I mean. So I'm going to go here, press plus, press audio, and then I'm going to, do I want it here or here? Can I remember? Let's try it here. Oh, can I actually do this while I'm recording? Well, we're going to find out, aren't we? So, not to audio unit extensions, multibus, and we want an extra instance of multitrack, and you'll see a number 2 has appeared next to it. So this is bus 2 coming from multitrack. So imagine now that a second channel is coming out of multitrack and it's coming down here. So I now need to go to multitrack, and I press on effects at the top, and we press output bus, and now underneath the track names, which I haven't labeled here although I'm itching to, underneath track 2, if I go where it says bus 1, change that to bus 2, now anything I play into track 2 should come down this new bus, if I've set it up right. It's been a while since I've done this. So there's my bass. Okay, so you'll see we've got a little meter here showing us that we've got bass coming into track 2. I really wonder if I've set that up right. Well, let's just record some bass and find out. Ah, that would indicate that the bass is coming down this track. Why is that? That's going to bus 2. Nothing is going to there. Maybe it's because he said noodling while he's thinking. Maybe I can't do this while I'm recording. Okay, well, let's not labour that. So what I'll do is I'll leave that guitar amp off there, and I'll go to multitrack and we'll record some bass. I don't know if I can remember what I played now. We'll do, should we go for it? Let's just go for it. And it's coming back to me now what I played. Right, okay, I think I've remembered more or less what I played, so let's see if we can get a good takedown on that now. One thing you have to remember about multitrack is each time you go for a take, you have to rearm it. Okay, that'll do us for a little demonstration. And now, if I just, where are we for time? I was hoping to get one more instrument on this. Yes, I think I will go for that. Will I? I think so. Right. Yes. Okay. Sorry. I'm being a little hesitant, just thinking about what to do next. So what I think I'll do then is I'll switch back to guitar and see if I can get a little riff going over the top. So we'll mute this, and I'll just grab my guitar. I'll use that same one, seeing as it's in tune. Okay, on mute. Sort of got a bit of an idea for a riff, don't know if it's going to work. Now my riff idea is a bit sucky. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to play a bit of lead over the top, and then we'll call it a day on that with the guitar, just so that I can show you, because I want to show you the multi-bus out feature. So even if the solo's pants, we'll just keep it, and I can just show you what I want to show you. So seeing as how at the moment I've got this effect here, which is giving me the dirty guitar, that's going to be okay for the lead, but it's going to make the bass sound horrendous probably. Let's just play a bit of that. Okay, so what I've done is I've armed track 3. I've brought the volume inside multitrack right down on the bass, because I don't really want to hear that going through the distortion while I'm going for a solo. And we'll just go and grab a bit more of a leadish kind of a sound. And maybe just take that up a little bit. And let's just go for some kind of a lead. Okay. Let's make sure we've armed record, eh? Right, okay, we don't want to labor that, we'll just stick with that. And then what I'm going to do is now I'm going to show you how you would use multitrack to give you all the output buses that you might need. So let's just say that we've recorded a full track now and we've got all the audio into multitrack that we need. And then we can just remember to save. Yes, go to song, save song. Song saved successfully, but what, I didn't name it. Save song as. Let's be sure here. We'll call this AUM 2 like I called the project. Okay. And then we can just close this. And I'm going to remove that bus there that didn't work. And now what I'm going to do is go to plus, press on audio, and now I'm going to add multitrack here. So before we had it here as an effect so that we could have guitar coming in and record that guitar. But now if I open multitrack here, we should now be able to set up our output buses. Let me just put my guitar down here. Okay, right. So I go into multitrack and I should drag it out here. Go to song, load song, and we want AUM2. There we are, and there's our audio. And now if I go to this plus sign, I've got 3 instruments, so I'm going to add 2 more buses. So I go to multibus audio unit instances and add a track 2 for multitrack, and then plus again we'll have another multibus instance, track number 3. Now I go into multitrack and let's just put these faders back up here because they do affect what's coming out of the instrument's own channel. And I will press on effects, output bus, and then track 1 I'm going to leave coming out of bus 1, track 2 is on bus 2, it's saved that, and track 3 I'll send to bus 3. So now I should have lead guitar here, track that one down first, rhythm guitar here, and we should have the bass guitar here. So let's just see what that's like. Okay, so I'm getting a lead guitar on track 3. I'm not sure why I'm not hearing the bass on bus 2. Oh, I think I might know. There, I muted it. So we'll try that again. Okay, so now what I can do, now that I've got 3 channels for those 3 instruments, is I can now, because I've recorded them all clean, so now I can select amps and effects and stuff for them. So if I just really quickly here go and grab that Nombrini amp, let's go with that one, right, and we'll go and select Did I choose that? I chose that one, didn't I? So that will give us, turn metronome off now, and we can lose the pre-count there. could also add a bass amp here, which I'll not bother doing. It sounds okay clean, and we're a bit pressed for time. And then here I could go and add a different guitar amp, and let's choose let's go with there we go. Right. Okay, so on and so on. I could add effects, I could add my delays and modulations and reverbs and everything to these guitar tracks here. And then what I could do is, once I've assembled something here that I like and kind of come up with a part with real audio that I dig, sort of an arrangement that I'm satisfied with, then I could go back to Helium. Now at the moment all I've got is 4 bars of drums that are just looping round, and I might go in and say, well, you know, that the drum part served its purpose, but it's not exactly what I want. So I can start reprogramming and changing what we've done there in that loop, and then of course extend it out to create a full drum part for the whole track. Also inside of Helium, what we're not going to look at today because we've not got time today, but what you can also do in Helium is set up loops. And we can also set up loops of audio inside of multitrack, which is something that Paul came up with to help. I think his main thinking, I mean, he might have been thinking when he did it that he got Helium coming along. I don't know if he had that plan then. But people were looking for something that you could record audio into that would work alongside of LK, because LK is a clip launcher. So it's not just completely linear like a digital audio workstation. So people needed something that could loop alongside of LK. So we made some changes in multitrack to make that happen. Now that's not something we've got time to have a look at today, but then of course Helium has come along and he's got looping capabilities inside of that, and you can make an arrangement of loops, or you can launch loops, and you can make it so that multitrack and Helium will launch respective loops at the same time. I think that sounds like a really terrible explanation, but maybe that's something I could do a later stream on, going, you know, again that little bit further into AUM and into use of multitrack and Helium or similar. So I've only got a very few quick minutes left, so all I'm going to do here, I just want to show you very quickly. Let's say we wanted to add a synth or some kind of AUV3 software into this project. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say an instrument that we would play with MIDI, right? So we'll just grab one, right? We'll grab Digitalism, and when it opens, I will drag it over here. Right, so now I want to send MIDI to Digitalism on MIDI channel 3. So I'm going to make it listen to Helium port 1 on, yeah, MIDI channel 2 we want, don't we? So switch them all off, switch MIDI channel 2 back on, and then if I go to Helium now and switch this piano roll over to track 2, now automatically when I play my MPK Mini, it's playing Digitalism. So whatever instrument we're connected to, the MIDI channel, now let me explain that better, right? So each instrument is connected to helium on a different MIDI channel. Whichever one of the piano rolls you select, the respective instrument will be controlled by whatever controller you have connected here. I think that was a better explanation, maybe still not brilliant. Right, so if I now wanted to record something with digitalism in helium, then I could now do that by going here and just press record. And what kind of a sound have I got? Not an ideal one. Why am I pissy panting about selecting a great sound just for a quick demonstration? Okay, let's just grab a sound. That's just like an even worse choice. Classic strings. There, okay, that's a better plot. Right, okay, so what we would do is, I think everything I played there was in E, so maybe if I just hold an E into helium, we've got record armed, and I would just put my little pre-count back on, pre-roll only, there we go, 1 bar. Right, and that's enough to show you. Obviously, I've only got a loop of 4 bars set up in helium at the moment, so that's all we're going to get, because I haven't got time to change that before Doug starts his stream. So now if I just come here and mix this down a little bit, there we go. Okay, so I didn't record anything today that's worth keeping. I mean, it's all a bit of a dreadful mess, especially that lead guitar part, but I hope that I've been able to successfully show you how you could use multitrack and helium inside of AUM to record, you know, with the basically to use it as a digital audio workstation. And a brief look at how you can use the multibus outs. I was hoping I was going to be able to have time to show you the multibus outs in Digistix as well, but I don't have time. So thank you very, very much for watching. Thanks for being here. Everybody be good and take care, and tune in again next time. Do not pissy pants about. Make lots of music. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.